Hello and welcome to News Center. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The top story we are tracking this evening. States are bracing for a pan-India mock drill exercise, the first of such a scale since before the India-Pakistan War of 1971. The Home Ministry has directed states to conduct mock drills across the 244 categorized civil defense districts tomorrow to strengthen civil defense preparedness. The mock drill comes amid worsening ties with Pakistan on the back of the Pahalgam terror attack last month. The primary objective of the drill will be to assess the effectiveness of air raid warning systems. Civilians and students will be trained in defense aspects and also protect themselves. This will be done to ensure that people can protect themselves, safeguard their property, their families in the event of a hostile attack. Our team of reporters gives us a sneak peek on what we can expect tomorrow.
There are four main points on which the focus is currently in this mock drill. Number one, the air siren. If the Indian Air Force identifies that there is a threat from the air to any district, then the air siren will be sounded off and the civil defense volunteers will then ensure that the civilians take cover. Second will be blackout siren. Blackout siren would mean power cut. So if you are in a forward area and your civil defense volunteers have asked you to prepare for a blackout siren, prepare to have candles or matchsticks or torch which enough battery power around you so that you can navigate this phase when blackout is announced. Third thing is, again, if you are in a forward area, you might have to prepare an emergency kit because possibility of evacuation to a community bunker might arise. So there are a number of forward areas. For example, in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer, Barmer. In Punjab, there's Amritsar. In Jammu and Kashmir, there's Uri, Arnia. In Gujarat also, there are forward areas. In Kutch, if you are in any of these areas, prepare an emergency kit. If you have a child or a baby, have dry baby food, a sanitary kit for women, essential medicines, etc., and some cash to be carried immediately when you are being evacuated. Fourth, if you are living near a vital installation, a defense installation or a nuclear installation, your civil defense volunteer and your district administration might prepare you in a different way to take cover. All of these will be part of the drill that is carried out from 7th of May. What the government is saying is do not panic. This drill does not mean we are going to war, but it does mean that we are preparing our civilians for any eventuality since they are not aware of any warlike situation since 1971. We are standing outside Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminal in Mumbai. It's a key location and one of the locations which was targeted during 26/11 attack. From 1993 bomb blast to 26/11 terror attack, Mumbai has faced multiple terror attacks over the years. That's why there will be special focus on the city. Mumbai is a city which anyway by default remains on high alert, will witness special readiness by the forces. Maharashtra Civil Defense Department has claimed that all the agencies, including civil defense, is prepared to face any situation, any scenario. Tomorrow, if we talk about Mumbai, strategic locations will be focused on by the agencies, civil defense agencies, fire department agencies. Of course, Mumbai police will be a huge part of it. Other than Mumbai, there will be 10 districts in, other than Mumbai, there will be 9 more locations in Maharashtra where mock drill will take place. Over 10,000 people are likely to participate in these mock drills. Civil defense has said that all the air sirens have been activated and all these citizens will be educated and informed on how to behave, what to do and what not to do in a war-like situation or a terror attack-like situation.
To take this discussion forward, we are now joined by General VP Malik, former Chief of the Indian Army. General Malik, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let me begin by asking you, what do you think is the reason why the government is going in for these civil defense training and mock drills across the country?
Good evening, Parikshit. I think it's a very important and an essential step that has been taken by the government, because the kind of circumstances we have, the kind of tension that prevails between India and Pakistan, we can expect some preemptive from that side, as well as we have to be prepared for a retaliatory action from that side in case we take the initiative. So under both circumstances, it will be important for our citizens to realize what kind of a security environment is there and also to take proper protective measures. Now, we have not taken any of these steps for a very long time, as you said, since 1971. And therefore, some of our drills would probably either not known to people or they would have become rusty, even amongst the people who are supposed to organize this. So it's a good step that has been taken, both as a protective measures in case Pakistan decides to take an initiative, preemptive action, as well as in case there is a retaliation to whatever we do to them in the near future.
Right. So one would want to understand, is this because we have to get ready for war? Is a war or a full-blown conflict on the anvil, on the cards? How would you explain this to a layman, sir?
Look, it shows that there may be a war, because after all, wars are decided by the governments, and I'm not in a position to say that, but the fact is that the circumstances today are such that both parties can take an initiative. Pakistan can take preemptive action because of what we have done already, particularly on the Indus Water Treaty. We have stopped water going into their side. That itself, people have been declaring from the other side that if this is done, it means waging a war. So they can also take a preemptive strike in case it comes to their mind. They decide to do that. And similarly, for us, we are still progressing with our actions, with our retaliatory action that we, after the horrific incident that took place in Pahalgam. And some actions we have taken, but some actions are still up our sleeve if we have to take that. And in case there is any kinetic strike from our side into Pakistan, we should also expect some retaliation from the other side. So for that also, this kind of a protective measure will be essential. So the circumstances that prevail today, strategic, security-wise, between India and Pakistan, I think it's the right step to take so that we are not surprised and so that people know what to do in case some action, this kind of an action takes place from the other side.
Right. What is different about the current situation, sir? You said that there were some similar mock drills carried out during the Kargil attack and before that, but that was limited to Jammu and Kashmir. What is the difference in circumstances today which warrant such nationwide preparedness and nationwide mock drills?
You know, this time the whole approach has been quite different. We have now, India has taken the whole of the nation approach, and we have started with both political as well as diplomatic as well as economic measures against Pakistan. And we have also got ready in case there is any kinetic action required. And I think people are preparing themselves for that. So where it happens, when it happens is not known. In the meantime, there is a lot of suspense on the other side. So is, I would say, some of our own people also. We do not know when that kinetic action is taken and where it is taken. Now, the difference is that Kargil war was a limited war, and it was kept limited because we were told not to cross the line of control. Now, it can be quite different. As you know that we have already taken certain steps to go across the line of control during surgical strike as well as during Balakot strike. So I think people expect this will be a very strong measure this time if we take that step or take kinetic action, probably much more severe than even Balakot strike. And where it may happen or where and when it can happen, that is still to be decided by the government and the military. That is the right step to take also.
Right. But considering, sir, that India is a responsible nation in the world today, our economy is one where nations want to invest in, they want to diversify away from China, keeping our priorities in mind. And the way India has behaved in situations like this earlier in history, what do you think are the options available for India right now? When you say that the response will be stronger than Balakot, what possibly are some of the options that we're looking at?
Look, The fact is that despite all the action that we have taken earlier, and yet Pakistan continues to follow its strategy of proxy war. And the proxy war has become, I would say, from bad to worse. I'm sure everybody realizes that the action that they took, the terrorist action that they took in Pahalgam, was the most horrific that we have seen. Selecting people who have come there, asking them for their religion, and then killing them in front of their wives and children. That has, it cannot go down in any civilian, in any civilized mind, I would say. So therefore, while war is always the last resort, and I'm sure even now the government is looking at it as a last resort, but over the years, we have seen that Pakistan has not mended itself. It has continued to follow this strategy of proxy war. Perhaps we are left with no choice. So if we have to take action against Pakistan, a kinetic action, as I said, last resort for us, then, well, so be it. It has to be done that way. And there are examples, I mean, nobody wants to hurt our own economy, but then when it becomes absolutely necessary, then there is no other alternative.
Right. How do you think the Indian forces are prepared this time around? Of course, clearly, the Prime Minister in a meeting with the service chief said that you have the operational freedom to decide a response with the time and place of your choosing. Do you feel that the armed forces have been given time to prepare themselves with whatever responses that they need to keep in mind, sir?
Firstly, war is not only a military effort. War today is a national effort. So while our Prime Minister has given that kind of a statement in public also, but the fact is that if war takes place, then there will be very close coordination amongst all the elements that we have in our government. I'm talking of the diplomacy, the domestic side, the finance side. All of them will be working together under the CCS, which is headed by the Prime Minister. So it's a national effort. And as far as our strength is concerned, Parikshit, today, I think we are 10 times more than their total national comprehensive national power. Comprehensive, we call it comprehensive national power. So today our strength is 10 times more than them. And therefore, I think we do not have to worry about our strength part. We are quite strong. And that is one of the reasons why these people have started running around and asking for the world community to check us from taking any kinetic action.
Right. I'd like to ask you about the civil defense training that is going to be taking place, the efficacy of air raid sirens, of evacuation measures, control rooms, all of that is going to be assessed. But how, in today's day and age, can we make this exercise stronger and more successful as a measure? Because civil defense teams have already existed in the country for a long time. We see them during disasters, during certain VIP arrangements. We see people wearing a yellow vest, and there's a cap as well. But how do we make sure that this is a successful exercise, keeping in mind what's happening geopolitically right now?
Oh, I think these are very important exercises that have to be done. And we have to be prepared, prepare ourselves in case of such contingency that is happening today. And therefore, as I said earlier, that when we don't do such exercises for a very long time, then people get out of practice. People did not know what to do. So I think it's an essential element, and we should keep exercising ourselves. And now that everybody has been alerted, our National Disaster Control Organization and all the states have been warned. So it will be a good thing to carry out this kind of an exercise. Incidentally, even on cyber war, for example, I'm sure all the business people on your channels, they would be realizing, and they are already taking such measure to ensure that they are not their IT is not hacked by them. All the management issues, they are not hacked on the cyber war. So this is also, cyber war also is part of this kind of civil defense that we have today. So I think it's a good thing that people have been warned and they are now getting ready for it.
Right. Would you also say finally, sir, that as a part of the civil defense training, because they would be taking inputs from the Army, Navy and the Air Force, it will be a collaborative effort when the civil defense mock drills happen. But do you feel that at some point civilians or maybe a select set of civilians must be trained to defend themselves also with arms training? We've seen that in places such as Taiwan. We've seen that in Ukraine also, for that matter. Do you feel that the current situation calls for that?
Look, it's a national effort. So all organizations, part of the government, they will be taking steps and they will be making sure that the others who are not aware of them, they follow it. They would be advised to follow it. And it's an important step. And as far as the armed forces are concerned, at the moment, their primary responsibility will be on the border or to go across the border if told. But they will help out. It's primarily a civil effort, civilian effort, and wherever the help is required, it will be given by the armed forces. So that is a collaborative effort for everybody in this respect. And it's a good thing that is happening after such a long time.
Right. Welcome move. And like you also said, it is important for people to understand what goes into securing a nation and what our armed forces have to go through as well. And it makes you realize the gravity of the situation and what we're going through as well. Thank you very much, General Malik, for joining us with that important perspective.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Time for a short break here, but coming up, the Supreme Court has published the assets of judges on their website. A special discussion on the other side.